Hey, Alpine Church, for this week's staff spotlight, we're going to introduce you to Mark Ahlstrom. Mark and Charisse are giving leadership to our Syracuse campus. And here's the great news. We're relaunching Syracuse today. In fact, we're going to encourage you to pray for their relaunch service at the end of this introduction video. But first, I want you to meet Mark Ahlstrom and hear the story about how God uses imperfect people. Here's Mark.
Hi, Alpine Church. As Brian said, my name is Mark Ahlstrom. My wife, Charisse, and I just stepped into this new role at Syracuse, and we're excited. We're doing this campus director role, and my story, it might sound familiar to a lot of you guys out there, and hopefully some of you guys can relate. I came from a really broken place. I struggled with some things that I kept hidden most of my life and into the start of my marriage. I struggled with some sexual addiction, and it was something that I carried a lot of shame and a lot of guilt from for a lot of years. And when it came out initially in our marriage, I saw the pain that it caused and the hurt, and I really wanted to conquer this thing. I didn't want to live this same life anymore, and so I tried to beat it. I tried to beat it on my own. I tried to use my own sheer will, and it didn't work. I failed, and I really fell so deep into my addiction and the things that I did. I thought that my marriage was lost, that my life was over, and I just felt like it was done for me. My wife Charisse, she grew up in faith. She was always a Christian her whole life, so that was another thing that was a struggle in our marriage. But when I finally told her that I think I need God in my life, I can't do this, and we found Alpine and we started attending, and I started hearing the gospel, and I started hearing about Jesus and what he did for everybody, that he paid all my debt. And as much as I wanted to believe it, I struggled. I really struggled because I felt so unworthy. And so as I kept learning and kept wanting to accept it, we kept going to church, but I ended up falling back into my addiction, and that's really where I thought it was over. It was done. And that's where God finally was able to reach me. He was able to open up my heart and my mind to the fact that I was still living for myself. And I was so broken. I didn't want to live for myself anymore. I wanted no part of leading my life anymore. And I wanted to give it all over to him. And since then, it's just been a whole new life. I've been able to see him take me and use me in ways that I never thought were possible. Charisse and I ended up leading a recovery group at the Layton campus, and I was able to just see God at work, through all that, and it was just so inspiring. If you're like me, if you're at that point, maybe you're at that point right now where you feel like it's over, you're lost, take it from me. If God can use me, he can use anybody, and God can make anything new.